So I wanted to make a quick video today on lunges. Now, lunges, when they're taught by personal trainers in the gym, they look a bit like this. So you have your feet out and your weight wants to be going basically in line with your back knee, so that your body is staying straight up and down. But that is not functional. When we go to lunge in real life, we go to lunge because we're going to hit a no backhand, or because we're going to catch something, or go in for a tackle, or I don't know, we're going to fill the washing machine, we're going to do something like that. So that's why we lunge. And the weight when we lunge in practice is right over the front foot. So that's what I consider to be a functional lunge, and that's what I want to go through today. I do this exercise, or I teach this exercise, once people have got really good glute control. So they've been through my sort of mini clams, they can do a standing clam, they can do a step up and a step down. We then start to look at lunges, because once the femur is controlled within the hip socket, then you can control the femur straight ahead for the lunge, and that means it will allow the knee to move pretty straight. So we start off teaching this with a static lunge. I'm going to do this from the front, I'll do it from the side. So for a static lunge, where we're not going to be moving our feet, I get feet nice and spread apart. I'm going to use left foot forward for this one. I'm going to start with my knee rolled in. I'm then going to do my standing clam. So I've essentially screwed my hip out from the glute. So my glute is firing all the way. I'm then going to start taking my weight forwards over my front knee. So I'm just gliding forwards over the front knee, and you can see that my knee is staying straight over my toes. It's not rolling in, it's not coming out, so it's just going straight over there. I'm feeling the glute working harder and harder as I move forwards. And to make this more functional, I'm going to come forwards with my right elbow, so that keeps my torso straight, as though I'm going to be running, sprinting there. So I'm just going to rock backwards and forwards like this, and I'm going to make sure my glute is firing and my elbow is coming forwards. So it's almost a running motion, and I can really feel my glute working, and I can feel my quads working, and it feels very strong, very stable. I could take the back foot off the ground, no problem. It's a strong, stable movement. So just that you can see that from the side. Again, I've started with a reasonably split position, and then I've started so I've got my hips screwed out there, so that my shin is vertical, as my knee is directly over my toe. As I come forward, you can see there's pretty much a straight line between my nose, my knee, and my front toe. So I'm there, and then I'm coming back, and it's straightforward, and I'm just taking the weight over the front there. There is nothing wrong with pushing that knee forwards over the toe. It makes things nice and strong. So that is a static lunge. As we get better at a static lunge, and as we get more confident and stronger, we can progress that into a dynamic lunge. By dynamic, I just mean it's going to move. So for a dynamic lunge to start with, I'm going to step onto that front foot and then come back. Now, I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, but I'm stepping onto the forefoot. So I'm really landing on the front of the foot, or certainly on the midfoot. I'm not landing on the heel. So I'm going onto the forefoot there, taking the weight again. I can feel the glute firing, nose over, knee over, toe. Everything's in a straight line. So it's just a step forward and then come back. Nice solid position, step forward, and again I'm pushing back off the toes. So everything is really getting the foot muscles to work as much as possible. When you land on the heel, you take the foot out of the equation. So I'm just making sure that all my arch muscles are really firing. So again from the side then, starting off static, coming forward, landing on that front foot, and then pushing back off the front foot, forward into the front foot, come back on there. So the right leg is really just there to pivot on. It's not taking any weight. All my weight is there over the front foot there. So it's just a jump onto there. And then of course the way that I can speed that up, or the way that I can progress that, is to increase the speed. So we started off landing, hold and push back, and then it becomes a more plyometric movement. So I'm driving into the ground, pushing back, driving into the ground, pushing back, driving into the ground, pushing back, and again from the side, there, drive, drive. So that it gets that much, so that we start to build in power. So we're building in control with a static lunge, we're building strength with hold and push back, and then we're starting to build power with the drive and come back. So that is how I teach a functional lunge. And of course you can then start to go into alternating left and right. And that again makes it that much more functional, because we don't usually do things terribly one-legged, but the idea is really to get the glutes firing, get the quads working, and to get this functional pattern working, so that when you are leaning on one leg to do things, which is a very functional thing to do in your everyday life, that you can control it and you have good strength and loading patterns through the legs. There you go. That's static lunge and dynamic lunge.